Welcome back to John's Music. Today's video is more of an educational video of how to adjust the action of the guitar and what are the reasons of why the action is increasing. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. So generally when you buy a guitar from us, we generally set up the guitar. In setting up, it includes adjusting the action, the saddle height, nourishing the fretboard, and that's why the instrument becomes very playable right out of the box. But then with longer usage, changes in humidity and the climate, the guitar will have certain reactions by which you need to constantly adjust the guitar. So we have made another video of the effects of humidity on the guitar. So if you click the eye icon, you can check how humidity affects your guitar. So here in today's video, we're going to check out how to adjust a high action or a low action so that the guitar becomes optimum to play. So now speaking about action, what is the action of the guitar? The action of the guitar is generally how high the string is from your fretboard. So generally it's measured at the 12th fret to see if the action is too high or too low for that matter. So one of the main reasons of the action going high or low is your fretboard bending due to the climatic changes. So the wood absorbs moisture from the air and it can bloat or shrink depending on the humidity. So the result is your fretboard bending forward or backward. Now to change that kind of an action is by adjusting the truss rod. Now this is why having a guitar with a truss rod is very important. If you do not know what the truss rod is, it looks something like this. This is taken out of an Indian guitar. Generally the truss rods are a little more longer in many guitars, sometimes up till here. Now this guitar, in this case, it is almost halfway, which is not the ideal truss rod, but this is just for an example. So generally the Allen key is something that the company provides with the guitar. Even if you do not get an Allen key, this is an easy thing that you can find in any hardware store. You can go and ask for an Allen key. So now I'm going to tighten the truss rod with the Allen key and you can see this part bulging up. You see, that is coming up and this is what is giving the backward bend on your guitar. So when it's a two-way truss rod, you generally can rotate it in this side also and this will curve further up. So that is why having a good quality guitar means that you'll also get a good truss rod within it, and that means that you can adjust your action of your guitar very well. So now what is a high action in terms of your fretboard bending? So there are many misconceptions that the fretboard should not bend. It does bend by little minute proportions or by high proportions depending on the quality of the guitar as well as depending on the climatic conditions. The most frequent bending is due to high humidity is that the guitar comes forward. So if this is your guitar's fretboard, if this is bending like this, the guitar's fretboard is coming forward. So when it's coming forward, you will always have high action. So for this, you need to take the Allen key, insert it properly, make sure it is snug and fit very well, and you should rotate it towards the right. If the guitar is kept like this on the bench or any kind of table, sofa, rotate the Allen key towards the right. So what this is doing is, if the fretboard is like this is making it go straight. And remember, we don't want a very flat fretboard. We need a little curvature by which it's playable as well. We don't want it dead flat. We want a little, very slight curvature, which is normal and healthy for the guitar. In case your guitar is curved too much, like almost in the shape of a banana, please do not try to adjust it at once. Try to adjust a little turn every 2 days so that the wood doesn't crack and go immediately down. It needs to release slowly and then it can come back. So in severe bends like this, please do not attempt to make it straight at once. It can lead to cracking of your guitar. Now in other cases, if you for example leave your strings loose and it's not used for a long time, the guitar's fretboard can go backward. So that is a backward bending. So when the backward bending is happening, we need to release the truss rod. That means if your fretboard is in this manner, we need to release and make it into a slight upper curvature. So for this issue, we'll put the Allen key, put it nice and snug again and turn towards your left. This will release your fretboard's pressure and it will come forward and your guitar should be back into playing. So in high action, the playability becomes a little difficult for you, that you will feel that you want to press the strings a lot more, and in low action, you will feel a lot of buzzing over here. So that is the indication of a high action and a low action. One thing that I want to mention is that not all guitars can be adjusted to the exact action. It depends on the brand and model, and sometimes the health of the guitar, that how the action can be set. For example, if some guitars can be set on 2.2 mm, if other guitars are brought into that action, it can cause some buzzing. It's generally due to the manufacturer's way of manufacturing as well. Now the second reason of high action is when the belly of the guitar bulges up. Now for example, here is your straight. Here's a scale for reference. Now if the belly is coming up, that means this part is coming up, and that's why this scale will go up. Alright, so that means your action is going up from here. So generally the belly bulging happens due to high humidity, or even if the guitar is of very inferior quality, this can swell up. So when this swells up, the action over here goes up. Generally you'll notice in this case the action on the first few frets are okay, but here it will be more. So in this case, please do not use the Allen key. It does not work, because Allen key is to adjust the curvature of your fretboard, I can say, which is also known as the fretboard warp. But in case if it's the belly bulging issue, you should not try to adjust it with the Allen key. So in case the belly bulge is not going down very much and still you feel the action is high, you can remove the saddle and you can sand this on a sanding paper kept on a very flat surface. Please make sure the surface is flat, otherwise the saddle will not have a flat bottom. So now please do not over sand this, otherwise it will go very low and you will face buzzing over here. Now in some other cases where the saddle is already low and you're feeling there's a lot of buzzing here, in the other terms, if the saddle is too low, you will face buzzing around the 12th fret and above. In that case, you can remove the saddle, replace it with a taller saddle, or put some filling under the saddle so that your saddle comes up, and hence the buzzing issues will get solved. So now there's another case where some random frets are buzzing. It can buzz on 5th or 11th or any of one random fret, not a group of frets. In that case, this solution what we mentioned about the saddle or the Allen key would not work. So the reasons for that buzz is your frets not being leveled. Now to solve that issue, I generally would not recommend any home solutions unless you have the right tools. You have to take it to the nearest trusted technician or a luthier to level the frets so that that buzz issue can be solved. Now there is one more case where an open string buzzes and the frets don't buzz at all. In that case, the slot of your nut has gone too deep, and that means you have to replace the nut immediately. This again should not be corrected by any other methods that is mentioned. It is mainly a nut issue. If this is the slot of the nut, the string is supposed to sit here, and if it keeps going deeper, it will buzz on the first fret. So in that case, please do replace the nut. Now there are two other reasons why you face high action on your guitar after a long time of use. These reasons generally don't appear immediately after purchase. This is after few years of usage. This part of the guitar starts sinking in because of the pressure of the strings the guitar is folding. So this part of the guitar sinks in, and then it results in a high action over here. Second reason is if the neck shifts a little bit, that is also a reason why your high action can happen. That generally requires a procedure called as neck reset. So these two reasons, as well as the fret leveling work, is something that you should get done with a trusted technician or a luthier so that you don't ruin the guitar absolutely. So the truss rod adjustment work as well as the saddle adjustment can be done at home with some very basic tools, and that is easily solvable. But if these are not the issues that you are seeing and you are not able to detect the issue as well, please do take it to a technician so that your guitar can be cared for properly. The action of the guitar is something that will change periodically with monsoons coming and then winters coming. It will change, and your guitar will need light adjustments over the period of time. So if you keep ignoring the high action of your guitar, the fretboard might bend to such an extent that there will be no solution to correct it. So that was our discussion on high action and low action on an acoustic guitar. The electric guitar action is generally different than what issues that an acoustic guitar has. It's mainly because it has a sound hole, and there is a space where the air can be trapped with moisture in it. So the acoustic guitar adjustments are a little different than the electric guitar. So generally, because a lot of people face action issues on acoustic guitar, we decided to make this video so that you can have an idea of how to solve it. The action on an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar are very different, so do not expect an electric guitar action on an acoustic as well. So hope this video helped you to understand what are the issues and how to solve them. If you like this video, please do consider subscribing to our channel for more product reviews and educational content. We hope to see you next week, and until then, bye bye.